So we're going to go ahead and give you some information about the plans for today. So you are watching Gold Squadron here. This is the my instinct is to pick it up. You're watching Gold Squadron Podcast. We're here at the day 2 of the World Championships. This is the top cut. We're starting with 98 players. Each game is a single elimination match. We're going to do our best to get you guys 3 games every round. Of course, once things start getting pared down, we have other streams here as well. So we got to manage some things. When we get to the top 8, the plan is that we will have 2 games. When we get to the top 4, we're basically going to be flipping a coin between Gold Squadron and X-Wing Junkies to see who gets the game. That's what OP wanted to do, so that we can figure out, make it as fair as possible. And we'll let you guys know how that ends up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We will find out. We have 3 games going right now, or getting ready. Looks like players are getting set. They haven't made announcements of starting the clock, but our players are pretty much getting everything down. I think we have stats and lists for everything right now. You guys set with your lists? All right. Looks like so. We're gonna go ahead and do that. No, it's 9. I mean, maybe it is, but it's 98. So there are only 98 players. So it's top 98. Why is it a weird number? Well, that's because there's a bunch of buys and things like that. There you go. Approved. Ace of Thumb approved. So let's go ahead and just take a peek at what the matchups are right now. You guys are recording, right? Recording.
Welcome to the 2019
All right.
Championship.
We're listening here. Give us 1 second here. Okay, so they're doing checks. Let's just go ahead and give you guys the list. Oh, Mrs. Gold Squadron Podcast in the chat. Hi, babe. That's my love, and it looks like she's quoting my daughter, who says hi. Hi, baby girl. Hi, Arwen. Hi, mommy. Mwah. I love you guys. We can get some gumboats in the chat for Mrs. Morales and little Arwen. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go through those matchups that we have right now. So on table 1, we have Andrew Knuckles versus Kevin Lines. Here on the left, Andrew Knuckles bringing a Seer Swarm plus Chertek. Beautiful. It looks like overnight our guy Dennis Bale was able to update and get us that new Nantex symbol next to it. So now we can actually see it and get it colored. On the right, we have Kevin Lines flying some Imperial ships here. We have Colonel Jendon, Sunterfell, and 2 Inquisitors. That's going to be our main game for today. So we're going to go ahead and stay tuned there most of the time. And during their planning phases, we'll be flipping over to the other game. So let's go ahead and take a look here. At table 2, we have Tommy Adams versus Andrew Bunn. Tommy Adams has Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker. That is the Initiative 4 in the Naboo Starfighter with passive sensors, R2 astromech, and proton torpedoes. And also rounding out the list with Plo Koon. Andrew Bunn has brought a very similar list. We got Obi-Wan and Plo Koon, but with Rick Ali instead. All right, so that should be a pretty cool game. We'll be cutting to that in between. And then on table 3, we have Mikhail Jenkins and Aaron Fernstall. Mikhail's brought Broadside, Matchstick, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Plo Koon. And Aaron has a TIE Swarm, Del Meeko, Iden Versio, Wampa Academy, Gideon, and Howl Runner. So we're going to go ahead and just go over to our tables here and make sure that everybody is good to go. And what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and check in with Darren and Asa, have them give us what they think about this matchup, what do they think is going to happen here, and we're going to go ahead and switch over to them now.
Thank you very much, Dion. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Worlds 2019 here in St. Paul, Minnesota. From the St. Paul River Center and for Gold Squadron Productions, I'm Asa Graff.
And I'm Darren Granger.
And we're here in the top 98 where we're seeing Andrew Knuckles, my co-commentator from yesterday, facing off against Kevin Lines.
Absolutely, Asa.
So let's talk about these lists. Darren, you said that you helped Andrew make this.
Yeah, it was something that so Andrew picked up CIS after looking at Sink Swarm and after Hatchet Man is probably the list he's most famous for with the Denver Open. And he was talking about what things are important, and the two things I said that will catch people out are grappling struts and Discord missiles. I mean, the text on those cards is ridiculously long, so hardly anyone reads them anyway. So what you've got here is you've got Captain Seer with Kraken and Solar Swarm. You've got Chertek with Ensnare. And then we've got 3 drones, one of which is the DFS 311, and then 3 Trade Federation drones. So all those drones are at PS1 and they've all got grappling struts, and 3 of them have got Discord missiles. Now, some of the great interactions that we've got here is DFS 311 is the droid that can hand off a calculate token to a friendly ship. That's any friendly ship. It doesn't have to have the calculate action there.
That means he can hand it off to Chertek.
He can hand it off to Chertek, and that means that Chertek can use Seer's ability, so it gives him effectively a crack shot that he can recharge.
Right. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, DFS 311 there then being a little bit of a linchpin in this list, but if he's destroyed, it's only 24 points. Every single one of those droids is worth just about nothing in the grand scheme of this list.
Absolutely. If Kevin gets half points in it, it's 12 points.
Cool. Good job. Congratulations. And that is in contrast to Kevin's own list. Colonel Jendon, Soontir Fel, and then 2 Inquisitors with concussion missiles. All 4 of those ships worth just a little bit more, but they can do more. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. So you see here, we've seen quite a lot recently of Colonel Jendon, of Colonel Jendon with other things, especially Inquisitors. He is such a force multiplier.
Absolutely. Holy cow.
What it means is that those ships are going to be able to go into the engagement with a target lock already there. And that's why it's interesting to see targeting computer on Soontir Fel.
Right. Normally we see Predator, but Crack Shot is a really great upgrade in this case compared with targeting computer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen time and time again on stream where ships have been left on one hull. I know in my game yesterday. I know in the game where was it Diyun, where there was an arc that had one hull left and it was just causing carnage. And time and time again, people are left with ships that just hang around for one turn more, and they're a blocker. There's something you have to deal with. Crack Shot's a great upgrade that comes in.
But here's the thing, Soontir Fel has really got to worry about these drones right there. Those Discord missiles are absolutely killer when it comes to popping into a ship with only 4 hull and against a list with not very many shots to try to take those off before they get to engage.
Yeah. So some of the key things here with Kevin's list is we've got Jendon. Now, because he's got Director Krennic on board, that gives him a target lock. So actually, he can then start to use his own ability. So normally the shuttle doesn't have the target lock action. That's one of the big changes with the shuttle from first to second edition. I mean, the biggest change is obviously giving it the rear arc.
Rear arc and just making it amazing overall.
But dropping the target lock ability, adding this back in with Krennic. Now, the other side of Krennic is it also gives him advanced prototype, which I would be highly surprised if he hadn't put on Soontir Fel.
Right, now we can double check here as things start to move. One more thing I did want to mention here before the game starts. This stream is brought to you by Curled Pot Creatives. See Andrew Knuckles of Curled Pot Creatives over there on the left-hand side. If you would like to support him, if you'd like to just get yourself some excellent acrylic tokens like those large clear ones we see on stream right now, you can go to Curled Pot Creatives on Etsy, type !CPC in chat to get some more information. Use coupon code WORLDS2019 gets you 15% off. I promise I'll keep the crappy segues to a minimum, but I can't promise I will get rid of every single one. It's just too much fun.
So this is certainly going to be an interesting match. So we've got 2 big names for round 1 here, Asa.
And this is Worlds. This is day 2. Every single one of these players on stream today, on the other tables, has fought through a lot. They've been through 7 rounds over the course of yesterday. Here we go.
Until we start the first round. We're going to start the round in 2 minutes.
Going to start the round in 2 minutes at 9:30 a.m. So we've just got a couple more minutes here before this round starts. Yeah, once again, both of these players have fought through a lot. They've been through, I mean, a really tough day yesterday. Holy cow, and on day 1A in terms of, in Andrew's case. Do you think that there is an advantage here to either of these players in this list matchup?
So some of these interactions are going to be interesting. So I think some of the advantages that Andrew's got is all of his ships are going to have crack shot ability.
Right.
And so these ships are really hard to hit, but chipping away with that damage is going to be key. One of the other ones, Discord missiles. So those buzz droids, if he gets those on this shuttle, that shuttle can't barrel roll, so that shuttle is going to have a hard time shifting them. And if he does want to get rid of them, it's
maybe
probably
your shuttle can't barrel roll.
It's probably going to be a case of having to waste a shot from one of these ships. Otherwise, that's constant damage that just chips away at their shuttle. Now, on Kevin's side, there are a couple of interesting interactions. So, as I say, targeting computer on Soon TFL means that he's going to go into the engagement with a target lock already. Concussion missiles are great because it gives these Inquisitors, because they'll be able to get their locks early, they'll be able to go into an engagement with either a focus or an evade and a target lock to be able to get those off. Now, it's unusual that we're not seeing him there with fire control system because it's such a cheap upgrade, but I guess he just wanted a bit more of a bid. Right,
so Kevin's running at 196 points. That's not quite, I mean, that's not nearly enough to win the bid against a Nantex list or something like that, but that's not what he's going for right here. He's going for firepower. He's going for an alpha strike. And you know, he's got 4 points left. What else do you spend that on? Not quite enough for a couple fire control systems.
I believe fire control systems 2 points, Asa.
It might be, but in those cases where you do want a little bit of a bid, say against Rebel lists, against some of the other Imperial lists that are running at 200, I think here we go. 9:30 a.m. Round 1 begins, and we are off to the races for day 2. 75 minutes on the clock. Andrew Knuckles starting off here with those acrylic dial covers showing his maneuvers as one turns up towards the top of the board.
Absolutely. So, because the number of ships that these players have got here, they're going simultaneously. In the early rounds, there's not really too much issue with that because these are both seasoned players and they want to kind of speed up the game as much as possible.
Not only seasoned players, they are friends. We have been commentating together for a long time. Both Kevin and Andrew know each other in real life.
Absolutely, we've got
so they trust each other.
We've got Birmingham Barons versus Echo Base.
Exactly. Now that Inquisitor purple on the bottom there, screaming up down the bottom side of the board. Shuttle following suit with a slower maneuver. Likely to see the shuttle threaten this lane down here.
Yep, it's going to be interesting.
Talking through some tickets, some prize distribution right there. Everybody gets a couple. Prize tickets are, of course, the most important thing today. Here comes a 2 straight from Inquisitor Yellow. So Kevin there spreading out his locks against some different targets. I think that's wise here. You've got some, you've got some fragile vulture droids. Of course, Captain Sear is a target in this list, as is Churtek. But he wants to make sure that he has some options going into the opening engagement if he has to sort of turn out and come back around. The other thing about the concussion missiles, if he can put a little bit of damage on a couple, the concussion missiles can expose damage across that whole swarm.
Absolutely. I think targeting different droids is a great one here, because if you were just to target that one ship, then Andrew could do a good job of cycling that one to the back, and being slightly further out of range. And because of the way that Network Calculate works, it means that droid can stick around and lend its calculates to others.
Right.
So spreading the target locks out here over 4 different ships is great, because what that means is we know that these can pop quite easily. They've only got 2 defense dice. They've got 3 hit points. Lucky shot from Kevin. We could see a droid popping straight away. And so spreading it out means that he's covering his bases.
Exactly. Now, we mentioned optimized prototype a little bit earlier. We have 1, 2 shields on Andrew's entire list right there with Captain Seer. Maximum of 2 times that optimized prototype can proc against shields this round. He might be exposing damage cards, but with that said, I think he just wants to go for damage as much as possible, maybe spending those if it might get a lucky crit in there somewhere.
Something I got to mention here.
So
So I do got to shout out Gold Squadron Paintcast, Luke Carrington, for painting up Kevin's ship in that Miyagi-Do theme. Check out Gold Squadron Paintcast every Monday and Thursday on Gold Squadron Podcast Twitch.
I think just about everybody who's got painted ships up here in the top cut are done by Luke Carrington. At least a vast majority of them. So get your ships painted by Luke Carrington. Tune into that Gold Squadron Paintcast, and I think it's proven at this point that you will do better at tournaments.
That's where I went wrong.
We also have a bracket. If you want to follow along at home with what the matchups are on the other table, we are streaming 3 games. Fantasy Flight Games is streaming 1 more. But if you want to follow along, see some of those other pairings, type !bracket in the Twitch chat. You can get that bracket and see for yourself who's going on. That is also challenge.com/xwingworlds 2019. Type !bracket to get that for yourself. 71 minutes remaining. Where do you think Andrew is going to push for an engagement here?
So it's tricky because obviously Kevin's bought these gas clouds. Landing struts don't work on them.
Right, and he's put them right in the middle.
Yeah, so what we might see here is a 2-bank here. And a 2-bank here, and that should put 2 drones on this rock here. The thing that Andrew's got to watch out for is, and he'll know about it, is opening his flank up to Soontir Fel. So you see here, he's got the ability. Kevin's got the ability to come in from here, from here, from here, and from here. But all of these are squirrely ships, other than the Space Cow.
Hey, the Space Cow can be pretty squirrely sometimes. When it doesn't do that stop maneuver, when it doesn't bump, it can be in some pretty unexpected places. So Andrew flipping the dials 1 by 1. We might see a little bit of a split here.
Just
3 straight forward, setting that right on the rock, opening up those struts. I think that's fantastic because from there he can aim at Soontir. He can pivot down into the bottom of the board.
Yeah.
Cover a lot of approaches right there. Likely to see blue following suit behind him. There's that strut token from Curled Pot Creatives. Worlds 2019 is the code to get 15% off of that.
I expect we're just going to see a 3 straight from all of these now. Now, interesting to note, Kraken allows ships to keep up to 3 ships to keep their calculate rather than clear them off. And what he's done is, as I say, he's handed off from DFS 311. He's handed one off to Chertek there. So Chertek will be able to hold that, and he'll be able to go in with calculate and evade dice, making him a little bit more tanky. And also you see Captain Seer's holding one as well, because although Captain Seer doesn't have network calculate, he can act as a battery for the other droids around him.
Right, because they all have networked calculations.
Absolutely.
So we have the 3 straight, followed by a barrel roll from number blue down there. Now we have our voting up on the screen. So go ahead and vote for who you think you will win this matchup there in chat. Type number 1 or 2 to get your vote in. 1 is a vote for Andrew Knuckles. 2 is a vote for Kevin Lines.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to see over 100 votes.
I would like to see over 100 votes. We have almost 500 people in the chat. If just 1/5 of you voted for who you'd like to see, that's over 100 votes.
Absolutely.
That's 100.
Because that's how numbers work.
Exactly. Thank you very much for mentioning that, Darren. I really appreciate it. Speaking of numbers, 68 points on that clock.
Minutes.
That's how minutes work. DFS doing a 2 straight. We have a little bit of separation of the swarm, but Andrew hasn't scattered them.
No.
They're still in a very, very cohesive formation as they come up. Andrew's just spreading out. He's keeping his options open as he flows around that rock.
Yeah, and it looks like all of these are still going to be able to be at range 1 of each other. So I think that's range 1, I think that's range 1, I think that's range 1. I think Andrew's done a really good job there of covering it so that effectively these ships are going to have probably around 6 calculates between them.
Right, 5 straight with Captain Seer retaining the calculate from Kraken.
Yep, it's an aggressive move.
Right.
But actually,
I think he needs to take that. He's going to boost straight forward.
Yep.
What that does is it's going to force Soontir to disengage. If Soontir comes in, he's going to have to take defensive maneuvers this way. Great way of pressing the issue. Chertek coming in behind again with that 5 straight. Does he take the tractor beam here? Best Nantex player in the world.
So the great thing here is if he takes the tractor beam, one thing to watch out for though, his arc is forwards.
So he's taking that tractor beam.
He absolutely is.
Moving the arc down towards the bottom.
Yep.
And then barrel rolling towards the top of the board. Now what that does is it positions the arc down this way. If he turns down, now he can face the arc forward, he can face the arc sideways. He has a lot of options, and he might even be able to pull one of his ships away back up towards the top if he wants to.
Yeah. Now the player's just discussing there that Kevin's 3 should have moved first. Andrew saying, look, that's on him, and at the end of the day, it wouldn't change anything that Churchill would have done. He's so used to being first player and moving first with all of his ships, because the highest pilot skill we're seeing on Andrew's side is 4, and that's from Chertek. So in this list, Chertek basically for Andrew is like a pocket ace.
Right, he is absolutely fantastic against those Inquisitors. Initiative 4 not getting above Soontir, but Andrew's not trying for that ace matchup win. He has coordinated an invade to that Inquisitor 5 straight forward following. Inquisitor Purple moving up swiftly down the bottom end of the board.
Yeah, and it's important to note that Inquisitor Purple has a lock on this one here.
Right. Here comes the boost. I don't think we see a link right there. He's just going to be right out of range.
Yeah, but what that does is that leaves him the 3 bank open next turn to come in here and threaten. So a 3 bank and a boost puts him somewhere around about here.
Great move from Kevin. We're seeing excellent moves from both these players. 2 straight once again from Inquisitor Yellow. Again, has a lot of options. He can disengage down towards the bottom if he wants. That 1 bank is open.
I think we're going to see the barrel roll.
There's the barrel roll. I like this because it also gives him the option to come in around the bottom of that gas cloud too. He can still bank in. He can barrel roll. Shuttle coming up this way can coordinate him any actions that he needs before the start of the next turn after all of those droids move.
And here we see the disengage here from Soontir.
There it is. So excellent moves from Andrew there, closing off the top of this flank from the Imperials, forcing Soontir to disengage and giving him full run to come down and engage in the center of that board.
Yep, absolutely. Now, what Kevin's got to be cautious of is, even though these droids are currently pointing this way, they can all hard one.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this Inquisitor is the one that's being threatened. One of the interactions as well is worth noting is, if he does manage to get 1 or 2 damage on one of these, he will have an issue because those concussion missiles, because the droids want to be at range 1 for their network calculate, that's also the danger zone for the splash effect of concussion missiles.
He just has to get damage on a few first. Now, the conventional wisdom is, of course, focus down something, but sometimes you don't have that option. Sometimes damage gets spread around. So he's going to go ahead and keep calculates once again on Chertek, Seer, and DFS 311.
Absolutely. It makes the most sense.
Right. Now, do you think we'll see the 1 hards here? I don't think we can see it from red. Is red?
I think red is going to do a hard 3. I think blue is probably going to do a hard 1. I think green is probably going to do a hard 1, and I think this guy might just pivot.
Pivot down there towards the bottom.
Yeah, so he could just skip his action and rotate. The problem he's got then is Soontir Fel could turn in this way. Now, I don't think he will because he's stressed. I think he's going to end up coming down this way with Soontir. I think Soontir is probably Kevin's endgame ship because ultimately, Chertek versus an Inquisitor, I'd probably put my money on Chertek.
Absolutely. Now, Seer and Chertek 2 are threatening this area with aggressive banks or even turns. They can block this off from Soontir able to come in safely.
Yeah. Now, even though Seer's stressed here, Andrew's got to be careful that he doesn't take him too far away from here.
Right.
Because both Kraken and Seer's ability only work at range out to range 3. So what we might end up seeing here is just a 2 bank in from Seer because the blue moves on that Bella Bob, not that great.
What did you just call that?
Belly rub.
The belly rub. There we go. There we go. The Belbalab, the belly rub, the Bella Bob.
The Bulbasaur.
All right, guys, quick cut in here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's happening at table 3 at the moment. So right now it looks like no engagement has happened. Mikhail being a little bit cagey there with his Jedi. There is Obi-Wan closest to that TIE Swarm. He knows that you do not want to be in that big giant arc. Essentially, when you got a TIE Swarm, that's one big arc, and both of them bringing gas clouds make it so that they can all pretty much fly wherever they want. Mikhail looking for that opening wherever he can get it, and of course Aaron wants to make sure he gets all 6 of those arcs on a single one of these ships and try to erase them off the board. Now, as we wait here, we're going to go ahead and put our picture back to table 1 so we don't miss any of the action. Table 1 is our main table for this one. Want to give you guys a little bit of information before we send it back to Darren and Asa. So a couple people were asking, what's the plan when we get to the top 8 and top 4? So not sure if the X-Wing Junkies are coming today, but they are not currently streaming at the moment. I'm not sure what is up, but the plan was going into today that when we get to the top 8 game, we're going to go down to 2 tables, and they will have one, and of course FFG Live will have one, and then when we get to the top 4, FFG will tell us basically we're going to flip a coin between Gold Squadron and X-Wing Junkies to figure out who's going to get it, just to make it fair and square. So that was OP's decision on how to figure that out. So we'll let you guys know how that turns out and as things progress today. We're going to keep tuned. And one reality with this top cut, there's a lot of players under pressure. I'm hoping we can fill these 3 tables until we get to that top 4. But that's how that goes. And when we get to the final, we are not able to commentate over the final, the FFG Live picture. That's just one of the agreements. FFG has done a lot for us, setting up a lot of things here. So I want to make sure to respect their request and make sure that you guys are tuning in to FFG Live, the official stream there for the final. Give them lots of support. And I know they would really appreciate it. And what we're going to do is either way, we're going to do a big raid. We're going to send the whole Gold Squadron community over there, do a giant raid on the FFG live stream. I told them about it. I asked them, and they said, yes, please. That would be hilarious and tons of fun. Let's go ahead and send it back to Asa and Darren.
Keeping his arcs wide.
Yep, and landing just in front of that gas cloud. I would see I think we're going to barrel roll calculator.
There it is.
Yep.
So he's bringing himself away from the Inquisitor down at the bottom. He's making a play for the center. He is ceding this flank to Inquisitor Purple, but, you know, it's if Kevin is playing conservative, I think Andrew's making that call, not expecting the aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great move that if this Inquisitor has been conservative, then he's not going to have a shot on this guy.
Right.
And here we see the interaction of landing strut. He is rotating that way, 90 degrees, skipping his perform maneuver, and still gets to perform an action there. So calculate, allowing this guy to have a calculate action.
2 bank from number red. So we now have some votes in. It seems pretty conclusive at this moment. We haven't had a lot more coming in over the past few minutes. 117. There we go. 117 votes. Not quite closed yet, so you can still get your votes in. Andrew ahead, though, by 58% to 42.
I know we say that Gold Squadron viewers are some of the best in the world. I don't think they could get that above 150 votes.
You don't think they could get that above 150?
Absolutely, I don't think they could.
Okay, well, that sounds like a challenge.
Well, they're fighting words.
Exactly, and if you want a challenge bracket, you can type !bracket in the chat. You can see what the other matchups are and follow along at home. There's the 2 bank from Captain Sear. There we go. Here they go.
Oh, people are still awake.
You got them. There's a 2 bank from Captain Sear clearing his stress. Want to know if he takes a target lock here against Soontir.
Now, a target lock would be a great thing to take there. The challenge is it means that he's fairly limited with this rock here with what he does next turn, because obviously you've got this object here. So if Soontir can turn in here, what you could end up doing is coming in anywhere in this region here.
Right. So the conservative move from Andrew would be to barrel roll to pilot right.
Yeah.
Keep the arcs wide. That still opens up the 1 bank's next turn.
Well, the 1 bank on the belly rub is actually...
Excuse me, blue, 2 bank.
Yeah, so what he might want to do is barrel roll this way and backwards, and then focus.
There it is. He says roll focus. Likely to see the backwards to pilot right, just as Darren predicted. Backwards to the right, link it to a focus.
Yeah. Because what that means is he's not overextending with any of these ships. They're still in a nice little formation, not a traditional kind of block formation.
But the droids don't need to be. They're not tethered to range 1 of any one specific ship, just as long as they are close to somebody else. But here's a more aggressive maneuver from Kevin. There's the boost.
Focus.
Boost link focus. He's coming in for that missile shot. He's hungry.
Now, one of the questions is that going to be obstructed by this gas cloud here?
I believe it is. I think we see that top side of the bacon cloud covering off the corner. Great roll by Andrew to put that behind.
Yeah. Now, although he won't get the extra dice with it being a secondary weapon, he will get the third dice and the cloud effect if that's true.
Right.
So now Kevin just deciding what he wants to do with his shuttle.
So Jennings' lock is on Chertek. Oh no, number pink.
Jennings' lock is there on number pink. So
Jennings coming in first before yellow. I think that's a good idea. He can coordinate if he needs to. One straight forward.
So we might see a coordinate, barrel roll, and focus here.
If he's dialed into one bank with that Inquisitor, that would be a fantastic maneuver. But no, he's just taking the focus. Look at that, 161 votes. Consensus among viewers is still for Andrew, though, 54.7% to 45.3%. Let's see if that pans out. One hard turn and an evade from Inquisitor Yellow. 4 straight from Soontir down towards the bottom of the board.
Quick note here. Going into this matchup, Andrew wasn't actually very confident.
Really, Dion? I mean, Kevin Lyons is a very, very good player. I mean, so is Andrew, but at the same time, it's a tough list.
So the response that he actually said was, here it is. Here's my aces matchup. So for some reason, Andrew believes that an aces matchup is tough for his list. So just interesting to see how this will pan out and see what Andrew plans to do here.
In a way, though, I think he is correct. There's a lot of low initiative ships on Andrew's side. Now, he does have the initiative with Chertek over the Inquisitors, but the Inquisitors have the initiative over the rest of those droid swarms, so they can see where the droids are going. They can react to it, and right now Chertek's in backfield, at least in these opening engagements. Kevin has the initiative, the advantage when it comes to arc dodging, when it comes to reacting to his opponent's maneuvers.
So they're just going back now to finish off this this maneuver with Soontir FL. Obviously revealed his dial, did the straight. I think there's probably a little bit of nerves on both sides here.
Right. I don't see how there can't be, Darren. This is Worlds. Final day, it's single elimination. Boost down towards the bottom with Kevin.
So it's going to be interesting to see if he tries to hand this off.
Here it is. Yep. He's handing it off to number pink. Will he boost him forward? There it is.
Yep. Now, I think we might see some discords here.
We might. Is that going to be in that range 2 band?
It's range 3. So I think we're going to see a 3 bank here from the Discord, and I think they're going to land right about there on that Inquisitor.
All right. Well, let's take a look. It is now the combat phase. 54 minutes left.
That's what Andrew's just looking at now.
That huge token pile follows with him. Now, he does have to be careful because there is a tractor token on number pink right now, dropping his agility, but the lock is not on him. He knows he can take that risk because It's not going to be a great shot.
So now we're at the beginning of combat phase. What he's looking at.
DFS 311 is going to pass off his calculate token.
So Andrew just deciding whether he's going to pass it off to this droid here or this droid here, because this droid is going to be without a calculate when he fires his Discord. This droid here is probably going to get shot at by 2 ships. So I think Andrew here, with giving the tractor beam here, it's quite a good move because he's going to be out of range of the shuttle. This guy's going to want to shoot at blue because that's where his target lock is. If he does shoot at pink, it's only a 2 dice attack.
Right. Making sure that their tokens are in order.
So handing it to blue.
Good call. Still got some start of the engagement things with that with those Discord missiles. Is he going to fire those? Because if he misses,
they just stay there.
They do stay there, but in that case, then they're blocking off some flank for him to engage with DFS 311.
Yep, so it gives him a little bit of area control. What he wants. There we go. He's not going to Discord.
Interesting maneuver, or interesting choice not to Discord. I think, even if he did choose to Discord right there and missed, then there's the chance that the Discord's sitting right there, blocks off that 1 turn.
Yeah.
And so, well, I mean, that's not a huge deal because it could just barrel roll once it hits it.
Yeah.
So you really got to hit those. All right, purple going first. We're going to fire. Looking at the shots that he's got there.
Do you want to do the dice for this first combat? And then next round I'll do the dice.
I've got it. All right, we've got focus and blank. He's firing into number pink. No results right there, not spending his focus. Knows he's going to take some return fire. Coming for the shuttle, range 3 obstructed from the gas cloud. No shot on pink, coming into number blue.
So there we see hit, focus, blank. Doesn't have a target lock. And not spending it. And 4 evades.
Smart for Kevin not to spend the focus right there. Sears got some range 3 shots right there. Going to take range 3 against, or excuse me, yellow against Captain Sear, range 3. 1 crit, 1 focus. Will he spend that force?
I don't think you do here.
Just 1.
Spend the calculate.
Andrew deciding what to spend. He's spending something.
So
I think at this point you might spend the focus.
it's a good point because he keeps the calculate. No, he's going for the calculate.
Range 3 coming back at the Inquisitor. And there's
there
that
we go.
focus too. Still unlikely to get through. There's the evade. Takes no damage. All right, number red looking for some shots. Just out of range on yellow. DFS 311 going to take a range 3. We might have that Inquisitor in bullseye too. There's 2. We're going to spend checking for calculate range.
Yep.
Spending reds. Yep, so it's important to note that he cannot spend more than 1 from different ships right there. He has to spend his own, and he has to spend somebody else's. Now, at this point, I think he just spends his own. He's looking to save that for the crack shot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's an extra damage, right? Like an extra damage, that's an extra damage. He's just spending the 1. Only 1 there, has to spend the focus so that it is not able to crack.
So the Inquisitor spent the force there, so he keeps up with the focus.
Range 2 shot from pink. Spending both DFS's and his own calculate for 2 hits. Spending the focus, no damage.
I think we've just got blue left to fire.
All right, so blue into yellow. And there's blanks.
Nothing.
That's it. Back to dials.
All right, guys. So as we're waiting here, we're going to give you guys some insight into what has been happening in some of the other games. If you're joining us for the first time, we're covering multiple tables here. This is Dion Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, your director today, and guy behind the scenes making sure we capture all of this awesome action. We're going to go ahead and head over to a clip of table 1 and then, a clip of table 3, and then make sure we'll go into their live to make sure that everything is good and see how things have progressed. So at this point, looks like that is not set quite yet. All right, guys, we'll cut to that in a second. Just give us a minute. We're going to go ahead and send you back to Asa and Darren as we figure out what's
straight
wrong.
forward.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's important to note that there was no damage at all in that round.
Right. No damage at all for either player. That means that nobody's picked up an early lead. 20 minutes into this game with 47 left on the clock. here. Day 2, top 98 right now. Kind of a weird number, but that's just how many got through the first 2 days. We have a couple folks with the bye, so we're going to cut, I believe, to top 64 next round.
All right, for real this time, here's what's been happening out on table 3. So at this point, we have the first engagement. At this point, we have Iden Versio going into Matchstick for a single damage, I believe. 2 hits because it's one of those Y-wings, changes the hit to a crit. So 1 damage there. Let's see what's happening live at that table because they're still in the middle of that engagement. Looks like Aaron was able to score half points on Matchstick. He's down to 2 whole at this very moment, and they're currently at dials. You can see how things are progressing there. We'll go ahead and keep this one up. We'll put table 1 picture in picture so that we know what's going on. So let's go ahead and add that in there. Oh, wrong table. My bad, guys. There you go. Table 1 is picture in picture. We'll go ahead and listen in to our commentators for table 2, Nami and Jeremy. They're going to give us kind of a rundown. How have things been going? Oh, looks like we might be having an audio issue for them at the moment. We're going to go ahead and flip back to table 1.
And have his arcs pointing in this direction.
That is a good point. Forgot about that pre-position. The shuttle can move up. He can coordinate Inquisitor Yellow.
Yep.
Inquisitor Yellow can barrel roll off to the right with a 1 bank dialed, and he's got a lot of options.
Absolutely. So say if Kevin's dialed in the 1 bank here, if he decides that this drone's coming down to block that, a 1 forward from the shuttle and a coordinate means that he can barrel roll this way, do the 1 bank in.
But if Andrew does, in fact, wheel over to the right flank, then he doesn't have to pre-position.
Yep.
He could just bank in.
Yep,
he can even boost forward if he wants to be very aggressive.
Yep.
Again, a lot of options. Yellow's locked there down onto Andrew's red drone. Again, a lot of options for both of these players, and that's why they're taking the time to consider their dials.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like this is the turn. This is the turn of this match.
And I think if Andrew gets it right, we might see some discords here.
I absolutely think there's going to be some discords. And if you want to see some discords, that's !Discord in the chat. Gets you a link to the Gold Squadron Discord where you can join the conversation.
Lovely little segue there, Andrew.
Excuse me? Andrew's on the table.
Asa.
Now, if you do want to interact with an Andrew, you can use code WORLDS2019 at Curled Pod Creatives. Get 15% off of all of your token and template needs. Andrew, of course, using bespoke Birmingham Barons templates down there.
Now, he's also got, yesterday I lost one of my tractor tokens. He lent me one, which is a little...
What a guy.
Little tiny tractor that says, "Hey, y'all."
That is beautiful. Kevin, they're just making sure how he knows how Andrew can leave the rock right there. He has to take a 2 straight, or he can barrel roll off. So Andrew there just saying he was hoping that boost forward from number pink would clear the rock so he could do whatever he wanted. But no, he's still locked on top of it. Has to take some specific movers. A lot of text on that grappling stretch card.
And this is one of the disadvantages. It means that droid is very, very predictable now.
Right.
But
sometimes that's all right. When you're in a good position, you're in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I don't hate from number pink there is you move this droid out of the way, probably with the 2 forwards because you need to clear the stress. What he can do is he can reveal his dial and then just barrel roll off. And that puts him around about here. And then for next turn, it means he's open this way, he's open this way.
If he wants to, he can calculate link that.
I mean, if he wants to, he can rotate first.
Right.
Barrel roll this way, and then calculate. And that covers off if the Inquisitor wants to run this way.
I mean, that is a very committal play, though. It's a strong one. All right, here we go. There's dials. 2 straight indeed.
I think that's a 3.
That's a 3. A stronger move than I would have expected. Andrew being a little bit aggressive here, but I think that's totally fair.
I think he's choosing violence.
I think he is. And I think that means that we're going to see some ships going off the board. There's the roll. There's the blocking maneuver. So what he's set up right here is he's blocking off that escape from an Inquisitor yellow with blue instead. Sear then the backstop that'll put in damage.
Yeah. The problem there is with Sear, that might be a bump.
Oh, I think he'll be fine. Following suit with red. Kevin now concerned about Discord missiles coming in.
Asking if it's always a 3 straight or a 3 bank.
Calculate from red. DFS with a 2 straight, closing the grappling struts. Coming off the rock. Exactly as you predicted, Darren. It's almost as if you're a good X-Wing player. Not the best Nantex player.
Well, certainly not good enough to make this cut.
Right, still a good one. There's the calculate from DFS 311. And it looks like we are going to pivot with number pink turning to right. Get his arc pointing towards the center.
He's going to barrel roll back onto the rock.
Yes, indeed. And he can ignore the rock. He can barrel roll over it with those grappling struts.
And probably link it to a calculate. Because also, as part of those that big block of text that nobody ever reads, you can also remove a stress.
Right. And then because of that text, he gets no stress from that.
No, so he will get the stress this turn.
Right, but he can remove it.
If he stays on the rock, he can remove the stress.
And what that's done here is it's positioned number pink to just be a battery for DFS 311.
Yep, absolutely.
There's the 2 bank from Sear.
So does that bump or does that
I don't
fit?
think so. That looks pretty clear to me.
That is
Sear
beautiful.
is clear. Look at that bullseye pointed right down. If there's any left direction from where yellow is right now, he's going to be trapped right in that arc.
Now, the question is, do we calculate or focus? He focuses.
He takes the focus.
He can always get one handed off to him from DFS 311.
DFS is 0 to 3, right?
0 to 3, yes. Now, in the UK, we refer to DFS 311 as Sofa Droid.
Soka Droid.
Sofa.
Sofa.
As in like a couch.
Aha.
Because there is a company that sells couches called DFS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's commonly referred to as Sofa Droid.
Well, purple coming in with 1 bank, just an evade. Still angling for that concussion missile shot on blue, and I think he has it right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Will he boost to get behind that gas cloud? I'm not sure it's really worth that risk at the moment.
I guess it'll kind of telegraph what the shuttle is doing.
Right.
Now, the unlucky thing here for Andrew is DFS 311 doesn't have Discord.
Right.
And so this Inquisitor's pretty safe from those.
Andrew now probably wishing he had just dialed in 3 straight, stayed where he was, forcing that reposition from Kevin.
Yep.
So not evading. I think he'll just take the focus. No, taking the boost.
No, we might see that linked into a focus. Because that'll give him 2 things to mod.
It's a tough call. There it is. There's the focus. Does make him a little bit less maneuverable next round.
One thing he's got to be careful of, a 3 bank here from Chertek.
Right. 1 straight from the shuttle. Coming in conservative nearby.
Yep.
Keeping his arc wide. Will he coordinate yellow?
We could see a coordinate to this one here.
Kevin almost saying take a focus, but then take a factually. Considering that coordinate, I believe. Checking coordinate. Here we go. Yes, so coordinate does have to be declared before you measure. Yep. So when just checking in some rules here. When you cannot measure for coordinate before you declare coordinate. You have to declare the coordinate first, and then you measure to all possible targets. Then choose which one you want to. So he has to see here whether or not he wants to coordinate yellow, if it's a good idea.
I think what he's saying there is he's checking that whether that's range 2 or not.
Of
So
Soontir?
he wants to coordinate Soontir. So he's just out.
Just out. So we're going to coordinate yellow.
Probably just see an evade.
It's likely. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Almost 700 people this morning. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 before round 2. 37 minutes left to do that as Andrew Knuckles, Kevin Lyons move towards the first major engagement of this game.
Now, one thing I want to do really
this is certainly
quickly
going to be an interesting round.
is remind everybody to hit that Twitch Prime button. You can connect your Amazon Prime to Twitch. Really easy to do. Type !Prime, and it looks like this Inquisitor is going fast.
There is. That looks like a 5 straight to me. Takes the evade from the coordinate. Blasts out right there. Great leapfrog from Kevin, expecting those maneuvers.
Yep.
Linking that to the boost, coming in aggressively against Chertex right there.
Yeah, and that's a really strong position there from Kevin, that next turn he can just do a hard one and come in from behind because his target lock's right there. So we've got a 5 straight from Chertek.
Now Chertek also taking the 5 forward right here.
Yep.
Also calling the play against Purple.
I mean,
so now where is he going to move that arc? Where is he going to reposition himself to?
so I think he's probably going to want to barrel roll this way because that takes him a little bit further away from the shuttle, possibly out of arc.
Then rotate his arc, what, to the pilot right?
So you have to rotate the arc first.
Right.
The problem is he's not going to get an action, so he does have to calculate. If he rolls this way, he will be able to get the primary shot onto the Inquisitor, and because of this calculate.
So I actually really like where Chertek is right now because I think he's got that corner unobstructed to the Inquisitor. I'm not sure he'll be able to take himself out of the arc of the shuttle.
Yeah. So he's going to tractor. If he puts his arc this way, gives it to that Inquisitor, and then puts this Inquisitor in, that means he's going to get shot at by this guy and this guy, both at range 1.
Right. As well as Chertek.
But it's no concussion missiles.
Right, but it has to be said he has to call this arc perfectly. If he is out of that arc, then he's got just taken a tractor. Let's see, where is he rotating that to? He's rotating it pilot left. There he goes.
Probably don't see him move.
Yeah, no move right there. Suits here with the 1 turn coming in aggressively.
I think Suits is in Discord range. I think we're going to see some repositioning here.
Which is why I think that Kevin needs to barrel roll. Kevin there talking himself out of the talking to himself about the Discord missile, saying, "Pretty sure I'll be barrel rolling." Indeed, there we see him picking up the template, taking the evade first.
I mean, this could be a game-changing turn if we see a strong crit from this guy's sure going to fire his Discord missiles, and that's going to be an interesting crit.
Right. Because he has double calculate.
Double calculate, absolutely. And theoretically, this guy could die.
Andrew spreading his arcs wide there, making Kevin make some awkward decisions.
So he's barrel rolling already.
There it is, evade, linked to barrel roll back. Has to be away from those Discord missiles. I think we might still see a shot taken. At this point, Andrew's got to start firing them.
Yeah.
Passing it off to the Inquisitor, Kevin saying, "No way!" Boosting him forward. Great pass, exactly as you predicted, Darren. Now he's going to be unable to fire the concussion missile, still with a range 1 3-die shot, though.
But if he spends some of the, he's got 2 tokens, so he's got the force, he's got the focus, and he's got a target lock on this guy here. Andrew now thinking about Discord. He can pass this off.
So DFS 311's got to calculate. Who do you think he passes that off to? Maybe Blue?
So he's got
Chertek. He's passing it to Chertek.
That gives him double mods because effectively what he does, he'll have a 3 dice with 2 rerolls there and 2 calculate. It also protects him from this.
Right.
Not firing Discord.
I think he firmly believes that he should only fire Discord when he has the guaranteed hit. I definitely respect that. Here comes range 2 from Soontir. 2 hits into blue. Blue rolling 2. I think he needs to spend one of those calculates there. There it is.
Yep.
Taking 1 on Trade Federation drone blue, the first damage all game. First blood goes to Kevin Leintz more than halfway through this game. Chertek range 1 into the Inquisitor. 3 dice, 2 rerolls, 2 calculate. Big shot right here. There's 3 paint. Spend a calculate, no rerolls necessary. 2 dice, 1 blank, 2 dice in the Inquisitor.
Half points.
22-point lead, or 21-point lead from Andrew Knuckles. Shuttle shot, checking range. Is that range 1 to Chertek?
Yes, it is. Oh.
It's close.
Range 2.
Range 2. 3 dice, 3 natties. Chertek rolling 3 as well. Beautiful use of that second calculate right there. Yep. Spending it, taking only 1 damage.
Yeah, great move by Andrew to give him the 2 calculates there.
Inquisitor Purple firing range 1 onto blue. 2 hits. Target lock for 2. Thinks he might not survive this round. I think that's a fair assumption. Spending the second calculate, taking 1.
I think that's probably why Andrew didn't fire the Discord there, because if he wasn't sure it was going to hit, he needed both those calculate.
Exactly. Now blue responding with a range 2 into Soontir. Just 1 crit, unlikely to go through. In fact, impossible to go through. But he has to spend the evade. If he has a follow-up shot, it might hurt.
Now, I think these are going here.
So we did fire out of order right there.
Yeah.
Seer should have fired first. So rolling that back. Seer firing range 1. Spend that focus. Inquisitor Purple now down to only 1 hull.
Yep, spends the force. So droid. 1 hit on the shuttle. Takes 1.
Damage is damage is damage.
So number pink, range 3 into the Inquisitor.
Not obstructed because pink is ignoring that hit. The crit.
Has to spend the focus. I think we might see a dead Inquisitor.
Do we have a force left? We have 1, right?
Blue. Nothing.
There's blue. Still nothing.
And range 1 here. So 2 hits.
Needs, there it is.
Dead Inquisitor.
1 dead Inquisitor. Andrew Knuckles picking up 41 points, now leading by 29.
Yep. Well, for 2 hull on a Trade Federation drone,
I think that's a fair trade.
All right, looks like at this point we have Andrew ahead 41-12. We're going to go ahead and take a look at stuff that's been happening in other games here. Here is a flash to Table 2, an earlier engagement. This was their first engagement. Let's see how things went down during that interaction. So at this point, we have Andrew Bunn's Obi-Wan going into Tommy's Obi-Wan. Gets 3 hits there. Only gets a single evade. That's going to be 2 shields off there. Let's see where they are now. So at this point, it looks like we have still no score on both sides. Tommy able to regen up. He has 2 shields now. Andrew hasn't taken any damage at this point. False. That is false. He's taken 2 shields on Plo Koon. At the point looking, it looks like he still has R2 up on both of his Jedi. And for Obi-Wan on Tommy's side, looks like both charges for R2 have been spent. Let's go ahead and check in on Table 3, see what was happening there. Okay, this is Howlrunner going into Matchstick for 3. Gets an evade. Down to off the board. He was at 2-hole. Nothing he can do. Aaron up 0 to 57. Let's go ahead and check in where they are live. It looks like at this point, Mikhail has not scored any points, and Aaron is at 107. We're going to go ahead and have this game picture in picture while we stay. We're going to go ahead and stay on this game and listen in to our guys here at Table 3. A little bit of commentary while we wait for Table 1 to get going.
It's such a target.
Yep.
If you keep him around, he hurts you. So
quick update. We've got Aaron off to a big early lead after killing Matchstick and taking half points on both Obi-Wan and Plo Koon. So for those of you who are just catching the game that Dion switched over to our game quick.
Yep, so we're just getting that TIE Fighter turned around, just so we can get this whole swarm turned around. Should all fit, and see if those Jedi can just peel out, because they're both at half, and they're both hopefully not giving up anymore.
Yeah. Well, and if Aaron can get everything turned around, get his entire swarm turned around, you don't want to take this turn as Mikhail to do those two with the Jedi, because you're in some serious trouble. The Jedi just need to bail out, I think.
It looks like we're going to get a bump over here.
Oh, that's all right.
But it also means it's Iden not taking a shot.
Yep. And probably was looking to put a block on the Plo Koon there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it also keeps Iden in the thick of it to spend Iden's charge, which is still active.
Yes, we have not seen him use that yet. All right, we've got another. Oh, looks like Gideon there is going to bump as well.
So yeah, I don't know if Aaron did this to kind of cover a lot of options for Plo Koon, or if he.
I think he's covering the bailouts by the Jedi.
Yep, or if he just saw. He did a kind of a, I thought he was going to do this, so I did this, but then he would have thought that, so I'm going to do that,
Yeah. Yep. The old Princess Bride.
Yes.
Gamble.
And everyone ends up poisoned when that happens.
Yes.
This looks like a 3K.
Yeah.
So we have to mark some ships to get him out of there. And hopefully...
Both players doing a really good job of being careful. They both know these games now today on day 2 are very high-stress, tense games, and doing a really good job of just being careful.
God, that was a great read. Like, it may not work out. You might have, this dice may not work out.
Yep. Chat agreeing that Aaron is selling out to kill Plo Koon, and I think it's a very good observation.
Yep. And, if he were to kill Plo Koon, that's a lot of damage that that Obi-Wan and Broadside are going to have to figure it out on their own.
Obi-Wan opts for the K-turn.
Obi-Wan and Wampa just having a little fight.
And I think we're going to see the same move out of Plo Koon.
All right, let's go ahead and flip back to Table 1.
Absolutely. Takes stress, but Sofa Droid gives him a calculate.
Right.
I think that's what we're going to see this turn.
And we can battery off of blue, too. There's the 2-bank calculate.
Yep.
I think he might be angling for a block on the shuttle right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it is. He's closing the S-foil, not the S-foils, closing the grappling struts, moving 2 straight off the rock. Can't quite hit the block right here if he's expecting the hard 1.
So I think we'll see a roll and a calculate.
There it is, roll calculate. Now, number pink, they're out of range of any other calculate battery. In fact, DFS 311 is as well.
Yeah.
So those droids are vulnerable at the moment.
So
red and blue, they're only sharing 1 calculate between them.
For now.
Exactly. 2 hard turn from Seer. Is he going to roll?
It's interesting because he's positioned this droid here that if the shuttle does go this way and blocks, it means it gives him a great shot with Seer. Now, if the shuttle has decided to hard turn in, again it bumps. So just focusing.
All right, initiative 3. Here comes the Inquisitor. Shuttle first.
Hard 2 in.
2 turning in, hitting Captain Seer. DFS 311 now safe to share his calculates or just make a shot.
Well, he might still have rear arc. Depends where he gets on that apex.
Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in as we train track these down. 795 viewers, approaching that 1,000 viewer mark. Can we hit it before round 2?
We're over to 795.
803 now. They're growing as we watch them.
Prime time viewing.
Exactly. This is a prime X-Wing viewing experience, unique X-Wing viewing experience, GSPN, we are calling it. Gold Squadron Production Network. I think we are doing a great job. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. There's the one hard turn from Inquisitor Yellow. Rolling, linking it to a focus.
Yeah, probably to put him down here, so he's got arc on this one here.
Right, and not boosting, because that puts him way too close to Chertek.
Yeah, but look at that. I think that's 3 bank.
I think that is too. That's a prime Discord. Chertek too hard bumping. Is he going to take the tractor right now?
Now, it's a difficult one, because if he does, he's got to rotate his arc. Then who does he hand it off to? Handing it off to it doesn't really get him much, because if he repositions, he's going to put himself in front of the shuttle. Now,
I think he might want to, depending on where Soontir goes, if he takes that tractor beam, rotates his arc to the right there, he might be able to hand it off to DFS 311. If DFS 311's in a good position to take one of those rolls, he can do so. He can reposition that for next turn.
Yep.
Just gives him some options once he sees where Soontir goes.
Now, what Andrew... The unfortunate thing is, because the arc is this way, it means he's not going to be able to hand the tractor beam off to this guy here.
And the Seer is the one he might want to reposition to move him down.
Yeah, 'cause if he could fit a roll in there.
I think he can.
Because the great thing is with the tractor beam, you can roll stuff onto a cloud. No tractor. So Soontir.
Soontir 2 bank blocked into blue.
I don't think that's terrible for Soontir.
Right, because he'll still get the focus. He's got the bullseye. In fact, that's actually a really terrible thing for Red. Red's now in Soontir's bullseye. Andrew with the block, but no follow-up to it.
Yeah.
No Discord missiles aiming Soontir's way.
Yeah, I think this droid's going to go.
Start of the engagement phase. Kevin gets the what am I trying to say? The focus.
And here we see the Discord.
There it is, smacked into the Inquisitor.
So we're going to see those right in front. So Kevin just asking there, what happens if the shuttle overlaps it? Do they then get moved?
Right. So Bulgar asked, how did the shuttle gain the stress? Shuttle 2 turned in and bumped.
Yep.
All right, so here comes Soontir fell, range 2. Hit and a crit, natural. 2, he needs 2 paint. There's double.
So crack shot.
It's a direct hit, a one-shotted Vulture droid.
Yeah.
That's what Kevin wants to see. Now he's in a great position to put some extra damage in with yellow, or he can take the shot on those Discords.
I think they were going to... So Kevin shooting at pink.
Firing at number pink with a shuttle. One crit. He does have the target lock. If I were to call a judge right there, So they are calling the judge. Andrew rolled as the dice went in the box. It's tough to say because Kevin did pull them out of the box, put them back on the table. I think that's an acknowledgement that he's done rolling. I think that's a pretty fair acknowledgement that he's out. So judge calling that the crit stands 2 evades, no damage into number pink. All right, now firing into Chertek, range 2, has the bullseye. He's spending the focus for 2 hits. Chertek, no evades, complete whiff. 2 damage, half points on Chertek. Now Kevin's swinging back into the lead with 61 to 41 with the 20 points. Chertek, range 2, back at Inquisitor Yellow, hit and crit.
Oh.
Natties, no damage. Okay, actually. So call from the chat. Chertek should have fired first before Inquisitor. We are calling a judge. Since tokens were spent, things do need to be walked back. Am I incorrect?
The judge just discussing it with them now. So they're letting it stand.
Okay, they're letting what stand. The players have agreed on the table that it should stand. 2 hits. 2 off that Inquisitor, though. Was that 2 off the shuttle or 2 off the Inquisitor?
2 off the shuttle.
2 off the shuttle.
Range 2 into the Inquisitor now.
One more coming out on the Inquisitor. 1 evade. And taking a crit from the Discord missiles. So the players let that order stand, or that order issue stand. They're both fine with it.
Yep.
Went ahead and moved too far. If both players are okay with it, judges are okay with it.
It's their game.
So worth mentioning there, Kevin now up 20 points, 61 to 41. Chertek at half hull, 1 hull point left. Shuttle with only 1 shield. Those Discord missiles now on the Inquisitor. I would expect to see the shuttle move forward here, try to take those off of the Inquisitor.
Yep.
Get his rear arc to bear on those droids. Kevin Line's now actually bringing it back into a commanding position. He's managed to splash half onto Chertek. He's managed to take one of those droids out, and now Soontir is in a position to run rampant on the right side of that board.
Yeah, it's interesting now what's going to happen this turn.
.13 left. Coming up against the clock, Andrew's got to take back 20 points.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to see here is you're going to see a hard 2 from this droid just to get his arc back in the game. And we're probably going to see a hard 1 or a hard 2 here. The problem he's got here is the shuttle.
Right.
He's going to block this droid here.
And we do have to see the hard one from blue. That brings the Discord missiles from blue back into the equation.
The problem with that is he's going to land on that gas cloud and then not be able to do an action there. So he's going to then rely on this guy giving him a calculate.
And I think that's why we won't see a turn.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and take a peek at Table 3, see how things are going there. We'll keep this game picture-in-picture. So at this point, looks like Mikhail has scored some points, 45 to 131. Mikhail still has Broadside and Obi-Wan Kenobi still alive. Plo Koon is off the table at the moment. Aaron attacking with those TIE fighters. The Imperial efficiency showing its teeth here. We'll go ahead and stay on this one. We'll stay with Jake and Walker while we wait for Table 1 to get moving.
Shot is a hit crit.
But this is the ion cannon shot that was natty evaded.
Natties.
God, the disrespect. Natties in the chat. Sweet natties. You don't need tokens. All right, so Obi into Obi. This might end up killing him. Bun needs
And evaded.
Easy. This is called being good at the game. What logs? Don't need him. Don't want him. Don't need him. Obi-Wan is out.
All right. All right. So now we got a little reset. We got 3 stress ties, 2 not stress ties. A tie is off the board.
Yep.
So.
So do you think we see...
All right, guys, we have an update from Table 2 coming in. Let's go ahead and take a look at this replay, and we'll check them out live as well. Wait, what? Sorry, guys. Let's go ahead. Listen in. I've made a mistake.
Turn. Wampa maybe hard turn in. I'm thinking.
Well, Wampa can't hard turn in because Howrunner is sitting right in his way.
He can bomb. Who cares?
Okay. I mean, he can.
I think the Academy Pilot might try to come down and block Broadside's 2-turn.
Yep.
And then, yeah, you want to go as slow as possible, but Howrunner is just in a real garbage place for those other 3 ties.
Yes.
You might see just a hard 1 from Gideon. And Obi-Wan, I think he's going to hard 1 as well, just to come down and get another shot and have that gas cloud on his flank.
Kind of insulate his side. I don't know. It's I don't know if Obi-Wan will clear that gas cloud or not.
So he does not go for the block of the 2-turn.
And here's the thing, I don't think the natties are super relevant because of mods on each side.
He could be using that Academy to put some pressure onto Obi-Wan if Obi-Wan does want a 1-turn.
Yep.
All right, looks like our main table is starting to move. We're going to go ahead and head back to Table 1. We're going to keep this one picture-in-picture. We'll reference back, see if Mikhail can score some points in this upcoming turn.
Blue has to move his arc around, get that Buzz Droid's relevant again if into your moves, even slightly to the left. Captain Sear as well with the 1 hard.
Yeah, the danger here is that this shuttle is going to bump. He's going to have a target lock on pink. That could be another dead droid. But he does have to calculate there. It's a shame that he doesn't have more buzz droids on that.
Right. Roll focus from Captain Sear there. Here's the shuttle going first. It's a 1 bank. So there it is. There's the bump.
So
both
the
players are
eyeballing it.
Right. Again, if it's it is top cut of worlds, I'd like to see some more precision, but players are king on the table. If they agree to something,
yeah,
as long as it's not blatantly against the rules. All right, there's the 1 hard turn. So this is interesting for Buzz Droids. Now, Buzz Droids will have to go into the back.
They will have to go into the back, which means that it will then next turn, and Kevin's Inquisitor, if he's still alive, will be able to move away from it.
Right.
However, he is at range 1 of Captain Seer, who has a focus, isn't getting shot at by the shuttle, so that Captain Seer is probably going to be around, might see a dead Inquisitor.
And these might be passed to Calculate from BFS 311 to trigger his ability as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So there go the Buzz Droids into the back. A lot of stuff coming in, and if he's able to kill that Inquisitor, rather than just get half points, he'll take another 20-point lead.
Chertek doing a hard 3.
So slamming into blue right there.
Yeah. Now what we might see here is a tractor beam and rotate, but it's a good position for him to be able to get a shot on the shuttle. The thing he's got to watch out for is Chertek's only got 1 hole left.
Right. And that's a very opportunistic shot for the shuttle right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he takes the tractor beam, he won't be able to hand it off to the shuttle because he has to rotate his arc. If so, Soontir almost certainly going to be out of the arc. I think he just needs to sit there and hope.
Yeah.
He is going to take the tractor beam and rotate, though. Interesting not to see just the 1 hard turn from Chertek, hitting him against the shuttle again, opening up some other options where he stays in those side arcs.
Yeah, well, what he's got here, he's going to stay here, and what he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to barrel roll this this droid here.
Maybe getting another shot at the Inquisitor. That's a good point. Oh, no. Here comes Soontir. Oh, Soontir fell. That's an unexpected 2-turn. I was not thinking that would happen. Here we go. We're going to train track it in. That's important.
Absolutely.
This is an absolutely huge moment. This gives Andrew a window here.
Right, it does. And now where Soontir's arc is pointing, what I think we see is a tractor being passed to Soontir, a roll out this way so he can't take the opportunistic shot to plink Chertek before he fires.
Now, the question is, Soontir has optimized prototype, and is that a target lock from Soontir onto Chertek here?
I think that is. But optimized prototype only works against the ship that Jendon has locked.
Right.
So we're passing the tractor beam.
So he's giving the tractor beam to Soontir.
Has to pass it to Soontir. That's the best option.
So Andrew commenting there, what he wanted to do, he wanted to barrel roll this droid here, this way, and then discord into the either into the Inquisitor or into the shuttle.
And I think he has to barrel roll Soontir now because Soontir has the shot on the 1-hull Chertek. Soontir could alpha Chertek off the board before he has a chance to respond, so he has to get Soontir out of that arc.
I think what he's got to do is he's got to barrel roll Soontir this way and forwards to not have arc on Chertek.
Right. Now Andrew does have initiative here, so he's going to be able to move that first. Soontir, if he's
He hands that off at the end of the activation phase.
That's true, but it doesn't change what's about to happen right here because if he does barrel roll up, now Soontir's got a bullseye on Seer.
Yep.
Fastwalker Zero in chat right there says, Asa, how about another plug for Knuckles? I think I will. If you look down there at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as Andrew Knuckles deliberates what he's going to do with this tractor token, if you want tractor tokens of your own that you can deliberate with, go to Curled Paw Creatives on Etsy, type !CPC in chat to figure out where you can get them.
And actually, that's a good opportunity
and
to
you can
also
get
mention,
15% off.
You can also use coupon code WORLDS2019 on, we're having a clearance sale on Gold Squadron merch and Team USA merch.
Oh, don't interrupt my plug, Dion, with your own. Come on.
But you're just saying my plug.
This is my plug. This is my plug for Andrew.
Hey,
this is going to be a very big turn.
We are his puppets.
We are his puppets. And you can probably get tokens in the shape of puppets from Curled Paw Creative Store. Code WORLDS2019 for 15% off of that.
I was trying to segue with you, and then instead you fought me.
Once again, I'm trying to regret making you having me read the plugs.
All right, back into the attack. Here we go.
Yep. Back to the game. 3 minutes left. This might be the last round. So he passed the tractor token off, did not move. Soontir fell.
Because they're getting it. I think they're checking now for arc for the bullseye. This is going to be key.
Calling the judge. There it is. those players saying, I'm not touching anything. Now, Kevin there made an interesting comment while we were doing the plugs right there. Why did he do that 2-turn? Kevin says, because I wanted to make you make this decision.
Yep. Yep. This is the last round now.
Yep. This is the last round. This game could swing either way.
So close. This call is basically it.
Right.
Yep.
Judge calling yes, catching the edge of the base of blue.
I think this is going to be the end of Chertek.
Soon to there, getting the focus, taking the range 1 shot into Chertek. Through the gas cloud. And there's one spending the lock. There it is, spending the focus. Chertek needs to roll all paint right here. We have only one going through. That's the end
gas cloud and a calculate.
of Chertek.
Takes one and dies.
Takes one and dies. That's why Chertek had to roll Soontir out. Captain Sear can afford to take a hit. Chertek cannot.
But Chertek could have still died.
Right, but not before he killed Soontir. And this is an unmodified shot. Looking for a range 1 shot into DFS 311. 3 dice or 3 dice, shooting out the front.
I think he's shooting out the back into DFS 311. Yep.
1 hit. And it's dodged.
So, if Andrew can get half here and kill this, it's on.
Range 1 with Sear, 2 hits and a crit. Only the force to modify Soontir's shot. There's 2 blanks. There we go. Hitting a crit.
That is a hit and a crit.
So he's going to die.
At initiative 0.
At initiative 0. So structural damage is the crit into the Inquisitor. It does not matter.
Yep.
Andrew with the chance to pull this back.
Range 1 from pink.
I see
Out of
a
the box.
reroll. There's calculating there. Hit, calculate. There comes the last shield down. Blanks. Half points on the shuttle.
He could have crack shotted.
He could have.
And range 1 here.
Oh, this is coming. That was from DFS.
Oh.
And there it is. There's the crack shot. Half points on the shuttle now. Andrew leading by 2.
And initiative 0.
And there is time. Initiative 0 step. He is leading by 2 right now, even if the Inquisitor does not die.
Once you are done, please report your scores to a judge.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
I think Inquisitor dies now to a crit.
And
there it
there's
is. Inquisitor dies to a crit. Congratulations to Andrew Knuckles, pulling ahead 107 to 85, taking down Kevin Lyons. Some crazy swings in that last round.
Yeah.
Andrew taking some risks. They paid off, and he comes out ahead. Andrew advances to the next round of Worlds. Kevin Lyons will go home, but congratulations to Kevin Lyons for an excellent run. Fantastic list. And it's been an absolute pleasure casting this game. Once more, our sponsor for this round, Curled Pot Creatives. Use coupon code WORLDS2019 for 15% off this whole store. We'll be back in just a few. For the Gold Squadron, I'm Mesa.
And I'm Darren.
We'll see you next round.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and check in with the other games, see how those shook out. Here is Table 2. So at Table 2, it looks like Andrew Bunn has a commanding lead, 108 to 39. Looks like Andrew is going to be advancing here. One of his next matchup is going to be Andrew Bunn versus Duncan Howard. They are actually practice partners together. That'll be really interesting. One of the things I was kind of overhearing was the fact that Duncan is basically teched against Andrew. So curious to see how that match will turn out in the top 64 when we get there. And if we go ahead and cut to Table 3, Mikhail Jenkins not able to get enough of those TIE fighters off the board, and Aaron Fernstall winning 90 to 152. Oh, whoops. let's go ahead, and I'm getting tapped on the back.
He's mine.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so give us a minute here. We are rolling into the. Oh, actually, it looks like is table 2. Table 2 still live. Okay, we're actually going to go back to table 2. Looks like it is the last turn.
Less than half of Anakin.
Yeah. And again, for those just joining us right now into this game, time is 0, last planning phase here. Tommy's down, has to get aggressive to take down Andrew Bunn here. Again, top 98 elimination bracket, winner goes on, loser goes home. And here we go with Tommy.
He needs
here
70 points to win the game.
Oh, it's a tough ask.
Which means, yeah, he needs 70 points. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah. So here we go, 3 straight. Evade. Oh, there's the regen above half.
Okay. All right, so now, if he somehow kills Obi-Wan, it's a tie.
Yeah. And can't bleed anything else, right?
Yeah, has to kill him. Absolutely has to kill him. And the good news is that Rick won't have extra dice. Bun's Plo is set up to do some painful things potentially. But yeah, like he just has to. He has to. He's giving. He's putting points back on his side. He's trying to keep. Like he has to kill. He has to. It's a really tough ask. It's not impossible, but it's really, really, really hard to do. Yeah, it's just. This is more or less the end result of this game either way, is you're going to have 2 really savvy players who know what they're doing, who know what their lists do, who know what the matchup is, and they have to execute. And you execute your plan as best you can, and, you know, they have a plan too, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
It just stays put there. Focus there on Plo. So all of Bun's ships now, I-5. Again, Bun contemplating the regen here, right, to get back above half.
It does end, and the thing is because we're in elimination rounds, the points don't matter as far as MOV goes. So you take your win or you get it. It's a question of whether he wants to just get points back and then have nothing happen.
Yeah. Again, these players, every last detail, right?
Yep.
I think Andrew knows he has a really high % chance to win a game. Still agonizing over the options of regenning for MOV. Again, it's an elimination rack. MOV doesn't matter, but still thinking through every single option here.
Mm-hmm. So he's checking to see if Plo has Arc on Obi-Wan. I don't think he does, but he's always going to take that chance. He's deciding whether he should regen. So it looks like he might be going for the damage. And it depends on what he's doing with his Plo, but he could just, even if he risks taking Obi-Wan out, he could just kill Tommy's Plo or get half and then just seal it. Obi going back to, Obi is at half exactly. Plo's coming in, going a bit soft. He is probably going to come in and try and get the range 1 shot and take off Anakin's last shield. But, you know, it's focus evade 2 dice.
Yeah, the most impressive thing about these players is that, look, time has been, you know, look, let's be honest here. Tommy doesn't have, really, it's going to be really almost impossible for Tommy to win this game.
Tommy has a very low percentage
and Andrew's
chance to win the game.
making sure every avenue is exhausted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every possible trigger. He's not going to let anything go, right? He wants to check everything, make sure all those 1% go down to, you know, 0.5%.
Yep. Even if you're still winning, he's not leaving anything. He's not leaving anything to chance.
Yeah, and that's a mark of a really great player, right?
Yep.
Then Rick with
Rick's
the
gonna
3.
bump.
Yeah, likely gonna bump. Yeah.
Rick's gonna eyeball it because he has a shot, but it's gonna be unmodded, and it won't be. It'll be 2 dice against 2. So they're just going to eyeball it because it's not really that important. So Plo gets a shot first, and we'll see what happens. This could just end the game here. He has to kill Obi-Wan and take no damage, which seems really hard.
Yeah, no shot there. Has to go on Plo.
So that's the game. Unless
yeah.
it's impossible. That's the game.
Yeah, and here comes Obi-Wan, range 1 into Plo. 3 versus...
They're going to roll it out, and then half on Plo, and it's super Terra over. Okay.
Rick taking the final range 2 here on Anakin.
So they're trying to score some points. Nothing that matters. They just want to roll it out and finish the game.
Spins the evade, no damage.
Okay.
Again, making sure range on the shot. Again, Andrew, not letting any of these avenues go. Make sure, right?
Yep. You got to be sure sometimes. Just to. So we got it finished there. Looks like it's range 2, so we'll just re-roll it.
Yeah, and he's going to
really,
re-roll, yeah.
They're rolling this out just kind of as a formality. Like they want to finish the game and see where it ends up. But the game is over, but they want to see how it ends.
And again, may not be completely aware of points. Again, we're pretty sure they're both aware.
Yeah, they're just finishing up the game because they want to. It's fine.
Yep.
So we got some post game. So that'll be it. They're doing some post game chat. I mean, they is that both these guys know the score. They know what's happening. They know how this game works. They know how this matchup works.
And I think at the end of the day, it's the more regen and these heavier shifts from Andrew, right? Getting more consistent damage out.
Yep.
But again, really great game. Congratulations to Andrew for moving on.
Absolutely.
That's it for Tommy, who's had a great run here, especially with Baby Anakin. I love seeing that ship on the table.
Same.
Yeah, and so we're going to pass it back to Dion here. Thank you guys for watching the Gold Squadron podcast coverage of the X-Wing World Championship. This is day 2. This is elimination. End of the night. We will have a World Championship. Stay tuned.